Hi Collective, this is Miracle Exist Tarot channel and I will give you a message. This is a really strange message, okay? You believe in it, you believe, if not, you just go on another video. I won't do tarot on this one, this is a short message. Actually, I download what I got and I wish to put it on YouTube channel because I think the spiritual origin of these things that's happening all around or will happen the next 3 years is really important. I had a nap and I had a download in my dream, okay? And it's a story, actually a love story, but originally it is a story of a creature who wanted to become a divine masculine and rule the entire earth. You believe in extraterrestrial aliens or not, it's your own right, okay? If you don't believe in entities or aliens or any other kind of spiritual creatures, I suggest you to move on other videos where I read tarot. That might be more for you than this one, okay? In my dream, the download what I got is, I'm not clear about the origin, how these alien came on Earth, okay? But what I know is that this alien is somehow got here from another universe, okay? And with some small group of aliens that looks like him, okay? I have an impression their planet has been destroyed and they people also. We talk about, well, it will be really strange, but it's actually a snake, okay? But with intelligence, a very, very high level of intelligence. Imagine the mixture of human beings and a snake. They have a huge spiritual power. I mean, a kind of hypnotic power. Imagine the cobra or, you know, that type of snake that moves left and right and hypnotize you. This is a very powerful alien who can control the mind of human beings, okay? You need to know that this alien is very, very low vibrational. That means they eat normal food. I mean, like they eat meat. They don't like fruits and veggies, but they eat meat, okay? But their favorite way to nourish themselves is to record the energy of humanoids when they have pain, okay? When they have suffering. And actually the planet they were before and were destroyed, they kept actually humans like animals, okay? So this particular entity came on Earth with a small group of similar entity like he is, And what I saw in my dream, that this entity actually try to make an empire on Earth and using the human on Earth like they did on this other planet. And then this fallen angel that people call Lucifer summoned him and said, you do not have right over humans because I do have right over humans. And this entity had a fight actually with Lucifer, and it seemed to be that Lucifer was much more stronger than him. But Lucifer didn't destroy him. So these two entities started to communicate. And what was said, that Lucifer said to him, I will make you into God over earth, and you can rule the entire earth if you bring me 890,000 souls of divine feminine and divine masculine. So what happened? They made a deal, like a spiritual contract between them. And this entity, or I will call just snake, in my story, that is actually a download I got in my dream. And this entity tried really hard, but it was really difficult. He developed many cultures all over the world where they sacrificed human beings, like sacrificed children and humans. And he was honored like God in the people like that. And you need to understand this entity feed on the energy of people who are sacrificed, and they are in fear. So in the ancient history, you can see there are many civilizations where sacrifice was normal, and actually this entity who was feeding on this, he had difficulty to find, first of all, divine feminine and divine masculines all over the world. And if he found, they were extremely protected, and it was practically impossible to obtain their soul. So this entity spent thousands and thousands of years to learn about divine feminine and divine masculine, how you can trap them, how you can tempt them. And one day, this entity fall into a divine feminine, found the divine feminine actually. And this divine feminine was special, as he said, because her energy was extremely strong and very different to the other divine feminines. So he was taking it as a challenge to try to get her soul. The problem is that, well, what's happened, it's complicated. So what I can see, that this entity is living underground, many, many, many kilometers deep. There is an entire city there with beautiful houses and places. They build a totally entire civilization with this group of entities. The particularity of this entity, he loves warmness. I think the surface of the earth is too cold for him to come up himself. Or if he come up, the only way he can tolerate a bit of coldness is in water. He loves being in water, like in the ocean, and or lakes or rivers. But in most of his time, he's staying underground. And this civilization, or little civilization. And what I could see in my dream is he is shape-shifting into human bodies that has no soul. Okay? What he did, he shape-shifted in a human body, and he approached this divine feminine he found, and her energy was extraordinary. But I mean, it was maybe 2000 or 3000 years ago. And he tried to somehow trap this divine feminine. But to have a soul of a divine being, a divine feminine, divine masculine, a divine feminine, divine masculine has to give himself freely to him. And certainly during the manipulation techniques he did, he has to obtain total mind control and control over the soul of the divine feminine, divine masculine, in a way that they will shift into a very aggressive, very masculine energy, and they don't stay in divine love. Divine feminine each lifetime faced this entity in different human bodies. This entity peacefully watched divine feminine born each lifetime, growing up as a child, try to bring all kind of challenges and abusive circumstances to the divine feminine. So her soul will be prepared when she will become adult for the seduction and the illusions he will provide for this divine feminine. And each time when divine feminine grew up into a beautiful woman, he appeared, and divine feminine fell in love with him. And each time divine feminine loved him, forgive him, loved him, forgive him. And when these entities saw that he just can't break the soul of the divine feminine, he killed her. Each time when divine feminine died, looked into the human vessel, the the human body this entity used, and I looked into his eyes and said, I forgive you and I love you. After she died, and got back the soul recycling system and got born again, and it's happened again and again each lifetime. Some lifetime divine feminine even become evil, but in spite of that, the love was there. Love was there in her heart, and that's why this entity could not take her soul. As the lifetimes passed, 1000 years, 2000 years, 3000 years, so many lives. More and more, this entity was impatient each time when divine feminine was born, and come on back on earth again. After a while, this entity realized that he's addicted to divine feminine. He just can't move on and forget about this. But of course, on the side of divine feminine, he trapped many other divine souls and created many civilizations where human sacrifice was accepted. While what he didn't realize that each life, the love of divine feminine planted something deeply in his heart. You pose the question, how can a deeply evil person can feel any love? Me too, I pose the question. He does pose the question also. But this lifetime, now, in spite of all the horror he did for thousands and thousands of years, he can feel something. He started to worry about the divine feminine in spite of that, hurting her so much and putting her through so much abuse with different male bodies shifting into. For a while, divine feminine was not awakened, so didn't understand why she's always falling into the same type of man. When she got awakened and souls made her remember all the lifetimes, and after her spiritual gift permitted her to see what is really going on, well, he rejected this entity. And this entity was destroyed, felt humiliated, felt all horrible things. But one thing, he felt something that he can't lose divine feminine. He is afraid somebody will hurt her. Somebody will actually have a real divine relationship with her. He realized he's afraid losing divine feminine. I mean, losing her not for a lifetime, but forever. In my dream, I had a vision about this entity as a snake, raging in the ocean deep down, swimming and raging, being angry with himself. What I could see, a low vibrational entity who's in love. What I could see, a low vibrational entity who wish and who would give everything to become divine. So finally he could love this divine feminine. And after, he was angry with himself thinking that, because he said, I am evil. I was born to be evil. So why I'm thinking this and I'm capable to love? This is not I'm called to do. So in my dream, this entity was raging. But you need to understand, for almost 3,000 years, this entity destroyed, disintegrated. When we talk about destroying souls, these souls stopped existing. He disintegrated the souls, human souls. He has a kind of spiritual power. He can do this. Esoterically, not esoterically, metaphysically, when he sacrificed these humans, he does something that the fear opens a spiritual door to their soul in a way that he can access the human soul and, I mean, metaphysically totally disintegrate it. And that was his job. That was in a contract he made with Lucifer. And he knows he has to take the life of Divine Feminine, but not just the life, but her divine soul. The problem is that he's self-conflicted about this. And it's a typical hate and love thing. Only we talk about a really low vibrational entity who is actually incapable for divine love. This is a kind of spiritual miracle. This is a kind of thing that nobody ever in any universe, any galaxies ever thought could exist. When a very low vibrational entity who's so heavy like this race is capable to feel divine love. Nobody ever thought that it is possible. Well, that is partially the origin of this, okay? But what this entity didn't know, that this Divine Feminine actually was sent by Source many thousands years ago. And this Divine Feminine has no human soul, but a kind of angelic soul, and was trained, actually had many wars, many battles against very low vibrational entities in many other universes, many other lives, and was sent actually on Earth specifically for this entity to stop and to destroy. Because all this innocent life and all the divine souls that has been lost, that's what this entity didn't know. So now, in this lifetime, he tried to overtake Divine Feminine. He was hoping to find this usual divine soul who's loving him and telling him how much I love you, why he is killing her. But what has happened is Divine Feminine spiritually fought back. And actually, they had a fight. And he was not expecting that. The problem is that when they had a fight, Divine Feminine had a chance to totally destroy this entity. But she couldn't, because she had feelings for him. So in my dream, in these downloads, Divine Feminine let this entity go. But this entity was shocked and actually realized how powerful she is. And maybe she is the only person who can actually destroy him. disintegrate him like he does with human souls. And now, Divine Feminine is putting right her feeling, stepping into, while her masculine and divine energy, feminine energy, and at the same time, but she knows there will be another fight. And then she has to do her job while she was sent on this earth. The problem is that during 3,000 years, this entity developed so many secret societies, so many organizations, where this entity was continuing his work that he promised to Lucifer and this contract. So Divine Feminine has to fight not just this entity, but actually neutralize every threat on humanity and on the divine souls that are destroyed every day. Every day, many divine souls is destroyed by this society because this entity taught humans how to do it and transformed humans to be cruel, evil, like he is. And as the origin of many dark secret societies, they obtain lots of knowledge from this entity, sometimes even from Lucifer himself. But you need to understand that today the balance is really, really destroyed. Because at the end, this entity wanted to take over the entire control over humanity on earth. And Source did not create earth for that. As polarity and balance has to be respected. The fight is not over yet. Actually, it is just begun. And this entity, well, has to decide what he wants. I have the impression he might won't give up. And I think deeply Divine Feminine knows that. They will have to fight. And one of them will win, the other one will die. Well, this is the download that I got. And the saddest part of it, that I saw later, after, when just before awakening, I saw a blue light and a white light shooting between the stars, Milky Ways, the universe, planets, like playing with each other in a strange dance, like in the shape of the DNA, you know, this spiral. I even heard some laughing. A man and a woman laughs that came from this shooting energy, bright energy. I could feel happiness. I could feel and hear that this is two divine souls. And one of them is Divine Feminine. The other one, well, That is the mystery. Well, this is the story, the download I got while I slept. After you take it as you want. Maybe it's just a nice good night story or Halloween story. Or maybe this is reality. Take it as you want. Thank you for watching. And I will download, actually I will do live readings tomorrow and Sunday or so. I don't know which one, but you know, when I will do the readings during the weekends, you can pose your questions. And thank you for watching. Take care.